Good evening. My name is Divested Witch, and I would like to talk about the things I wished I was told as a young divester. I made a lot of mistakes in my divested journey that I do not want you to make. So pay very close attention. One of these mistakes that I made was entertaining liberal white men who had no intentions on making me a girlfriend or a wife. Stop thinking that just because these men want to sleep with you, that somehow means that they love you and respect you, and that you have importance in their lives. If these type of men really loved you, they would want the entire world to know that you are theirs, that you belong to them, and that you are a part of their lives. They're not going to be sitting up in here calling you at all weird hours of the day and night for quick hookups. They're not going to be sitting up in here saying they want a no strings attached, no label attached type situationship. These are the type of white men that don't want anyone to know that they're sleeping with you. Okay, these are the type of white men who will make a white woman a girlfriend, but not you. And normally they're stringing along the girlfriend, because the white girlfriend, she don't want to be a girlfriend forever. She wants to be a wife. There's no honor in being a girlfriend for the rest of your life. But these type of white men will string them along as well. All right. These are the type of white men who do not like labels in their relationship, so they can sleep with whoever they want and not be held accountable for their actions. These are the type of white men who will take you out on a date, but you're never going to be around their family and close circle of friends. So it's important to learn how to identify these type of white men and avoid them at all costs. And it will save you a lot of heartache and pain in the long run. So I grew up in a conservative Christian background with both parents married for over 50 years. So I always seen and had a great example of that family structure. And I knew that eventually that is what I wanted for myself. But growing up, I wasn't thinking about marriage. I just wanted to have fun. I was young, hanging out with my friends, being that I am from the country. I was always doing outdoor stuff, four-wheeling, horseback riding, you name it. I was doing it, fishing every day. Okay, that was my life for a long, long time. All right. And of course, when you are a black woman who is from the country, all eyes are going to be on you, especially from white men. I've always got hit on by white men. White men were the ones telling me how beautiful I looked, how exotic I looked. Okay. So I always dated white men growing up. It was no secret in my school that I had a preference. All right. Everyone knew that I only dated non-black men, and nobody gave me any issues over it either. So it seems like men tend to pop up in your life when you're not even looking for them, because that's exactly what happened to me when I was 16 years old. When I was still in high school, only 16 years old, I fell head over heels in love with this 24-year-old liberal white male. Brandon was very tall, dark, and handsome. He had the sexiest smile, big, pretty brown eyes, like puppy dog eyes. So when he looked at you and smiled, it was completely disarming. Like, you felt safe. You felt comforted. Like, his energy and his aura is that of a very laid back, calm, relaxed, happy-go-lucky type guy. That is his disposition, and pretty much like any guy would want this guy as a friend, or any woman would want to sleep with this guy or marry this guy. Like, he is literally perfect. Like, I really don't have any complaints about him other than him not wanting to get married. I think that was very, very big issue for me, because I knew that I wanted to get married. Also, him not wanting labels. That really bothered me as well. So I stepped into this situationship fully aware of what he wanted. Okay. Brandon let me know from the start that he was a type of man that did not like labels. He didn't like the label of a girlfriend or a wife. He was not interested in being anyone's boyfriend. He certainly didn't want to be someone's husband, and he didn't want to be tied down with kids. Brandon was a type of man that made himself very clear that he was looking for something casual. Okay. So I went into this situation knowing full well what I was walking into. But what I didn't anticipate was me developing strong feelings for Brandon in the process. Okay. I was very ill equipped to deal with this situation because I was 16, but this can really happen to you at any age. All right. If you're not guarding your body, your mind, your soul when you're dealing with these type of men and you get attached to him and he's letting you know who he is, you are in deep trouble. Don't ever let these men try to convince you that being in an open relationship is natural. It's not natural at all. Okay? Women do not want to share their men with other women. They want all of that man to herself. I want all of that man to myself, and I want all of his resources to me only. Yes, I am very possessive. And when I have sex with a man over and over and over and over again, I grow attached. You absolutely right, I do. And I don't want to share my man with other women. Okay? Do not get conned and tricked into thinking that having an open relationship is normal and natural. There's nothing natural about it. Okay? And I was very ill equipped for this situation. And I thought I was going to walk into this situation, have sex with him and enjoy it. And for the most part, that's how it went. But as the time grew on, I was growing more and more attached to Brandon. And I knew it. And it made me feel empty on the inside because I knew that I would never be Brandon's girlfriend. I knew that this man would never make me a wife. I would never have kids with this person. So I definitely settled when I got with Brandon because I knew deep down that I wanted a boyfriend. I knew deep down that eventually I would want to get married. Okay? Who doesn't want this? I think women need to stop lying to themselves and stop acting like being in these open relationships is normal and natural because it is neither. Okay? Men of good character are able to commit to one woman, not sit up here and stick their dick into anybody they want. It's called self-control. That's what separates animals from humans. It's because humans have self-control. And I think that if you need to sleep with multiple people in order to feel complete or satisfied, then you just need to be single. Why are you all in these situationships and you're sneaking around and doing all this sneaky stuff when you can just be single and do whatever the fuck you want and then nobody gets hurt? Okay? But these friends with benefits type relationship only benefits one person. And it's always the man. Because women, we get attached when we have sex with men. All right? And to sit up here and lie to yourself and go, well, I can have an open relationship and I'm not going to, whatever. Okay. You can keep lying to yourself. You can keep trying to suppress your natural instincts and how you feel about this. You know you don't want this man sleeping with other women. You know you don't want this man giving another woman a title that you want. As months went by, I noticed no real changes in our situationship. I was hoping that the great sex would change his mind and make him wake up and realize that I'm the only woman that should be in his life. And that never happened, okay? Now, Brandon did invite me to one family outing, so I did get to meet his family, but I don't think he was really introducing me as his girlfriend. I did not get that vibe whatsoever. So it just made me feel even more emptier on the inside that I was never going to break past this wall. I was never going to move to the next level. Okay? And also, I learned some pretty shocking news about Brandon that Brandon actually already has a girlfriend. So Brandon had this long-suffering girlfriend who was very pretty. She had long blonde hair, big blue eyes, all American looking white girl. She was very attractive. And according to his friends, she was Brandon's long suffering girlfriend. And once I found out about this, I was devastated. I thought to myself, well, I see that she is good enough to get the title of a girlfriend, but not me. And that was very damaging to my self-esteem. But really, what I should have been thinking is, I just dodged a bullet. Because when I went to her social media, I looked at pictures of her and she has this real deadpan stare about her. And normally when people look soulless like that in the eyes, it's because they have gone through a lot of trauma in their lives. I'm pretty sure when she fell in love with Brandon, this was the man that she was planning to spend the rest of her life with. White women are very traditional. They're not interested in being a long stand-in girlfriend or a long-suffering girlfriend, whatever it may be. They want to be brides, okay? There's no honor in being someone's girlfriend. There is honor in being someone's wife, especially in white social circles. So in order to appease this liberal man, she has to take all of her hopes and dreams of being a bride and being a mother and throw that right into the trash. That is why I cannot stand these liberal white men, because they are never satisfied. So once I found out about Brandon's girlfriend, I knew that I had to take quick action because I wanted no parts of this. And clearly, getting the title of Brandon's girlfriend was no badge of honor. So I confronted Brandon and we had a blowout, explosive fight. And his anger really shocked me because I was like, I feel used. And he just cuts me off and said, you knew what this was before you started sleeping with me. And you knew that I didn't like titles. And I told him, well, you clearly like titles. You gave one to your white girlfriend, all right, which shocked him. You know what I mean? So we was arguing back and forth, and I let Brandon know that I was no longer going to be available to him. I told him I deserve better than you. I deserve better than what you've been offering. And one day I'm going to be a bride to a man that you cannot compare to. And those were my final words to him. And we never spoke again. So many years passed, and I have since moved on with my life. I had stayed single for a while just to recover from that. When I go through a major breakup of sorts, I just am not interested in bouncing from one relationship to the next. I need a break, okay? And that's what I did. I took a break to focus on myself, to focus on my mental health, and to focus on who I wanted to be in the future, okay? And many, many years have passed, and I began talking to Brian's mutual friend again, just out of the blue. So we're on Messenger, and one day I asked him, I said, hey, how's Brandon doing? And he said, have you not heard what happened to Brandon? And I said, wait, what? When I heard that shit, I immediately sat down. The room started to spin. Like I felt myself getting lightheaded because normally when someone says something like that, you know you're about to hear some terrible news. So my friend said in a very somber voice that Brandon has taken his own life and he's no longer with us. I was absolutely devastated because I never saw this coming. Nobody did. Brandon seemed like he was a very happy-go-lucky guy. Okay? Very laid-back personality. Never showed, any real emotions except for the fight we had. I think that's the only time I seen any emotions of negativity coming from him. But I would have never guessed that he would take his own life. This man is tall, dark, handsome, very educated, has a great career, On the outside, he has it all. Okay? All the women he can sleep with, open relationships and so forth. So you think that this man would be happy. And deep down, he was not. And he took his own life. So I think this is why it's so important for you young divestors to be able to vet these men and pay attention to red flags. Because look at it like this. If he has the guts to take his own life, what's to say that he wouldn't have taken mine? These men are very, very good at hiding very dark thoughts. And it's scary. It's very scary. So it's important that you, as a divestor, make sure that you have standards and you have boundaries and don't settle. If you want a boyfriend, you need to make sure that you're going after guys who also want girlfriends. Don't think that you're going to convince some liberal guy who wants an open relationship that you're going to change his mind. You're not. You're not going to change his mind. Just move on and focus your attention on men who want the same things you do. This will eliminate a lot of the bullshit right off the bat. Okay? And also pay attention to red flags. One of the red flags I noticed is that he had a substance abuse problem. Okay? A lot of times people that abuse substances, they're hiding or trying to self-medicate themselves from mental issues or mental anguish. So that's a red flag that, I ignored at the time. But now that he has died by his own hands, it makes sense. Okay? So be safe out here in these streets, ladies. Vet these men like you are vetting for your life. And that is all I have to say about this. If you like this video, smash that like button and subscribe for more content below. Have a good evening.